What's going on, Bullish fam? Welcome back to another midweek review. As always, a friendly reminder, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a professional. What I share here are for education and entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, do your own markups on your charts before taking any advice that I share in this video. Enjoy. All right, so as we dive into this midweek overview, I honestly haven't had the greatest start to the week. I'm not sure if there's been a couple other traders that have tried to do too much to start off this first week of the new year, but me personally, I've missed a couple moves. I took an L or two on USD CAD, even with our beautiful bias on the dollar index. I just haven't really played my cards right yet. So now going into Wednesday, before we kind of get into the technicals and how what we looked at on Sunday have played out already so far, I didn't really touch much on what was going on this week with the Senate. And I updated you guys yesterday in the Telegram chat with all this, right? I told you a little bit about what was going on with the Senate today and whatnot. But again, if you guys want to be updated on more stuff when it comes to the stock markets and what's going on there, I always have this morning brew link in the bottom of the description of my videos. It gives you a nice overview of the markets. It's a real fun financial email that you can get every morning. Here they're talking about, pretty much what's at stake with Congress and how the outcome will, have certain consequences on the economy, this, that, and the other. So again, a lot going on the fundamental side. I mean, honestly, for today and tomorrow, I'm probably going to stay out of the markets, but I did want to go ahead and review the technical side as to what went on this week. So as we go back to Telegram, right, on Sunday, we had posted up, we were obviously still very bearish on the dollar. We were looking at this major 4-hour imbalance to the downside around 91.20. And then if we did get upside movement, we could be looking at that 92.20 level. Now that was on the 4-hour. As we look at what has gone on already this week, as you can see, we effectively, right, traded through this liquidity that we had over here. Market traded back up, right, into, where the market had gapped to open the week. So really nice place here. And then from there, that's where we saw our higher time frame bias play out. We went ahead and traded down below even this set of liquidity, right, playing off this 89.35 level really nicely when we opened up yesterday and traded back up. And then now, as you guys see, we have played really nice off the top of that 4-hour imbalance off 91.20. So overall, my target for this week had been met on the dollar index to the bearish side. As you see, we had nice bullish momentum coming out of the taps here in late London. So, who knows if we were to get some kind of pullback down, maybe into this little imbalance, we could continue to maybe see some higher prices this week, maybe up here. Or, again, because this is pretty equal, we could even come dip lower into this area. But overall, bearish dollar index, this is no surprise. This is what we've been talking about all week. How is this compared to some of the other Forex pairs that we have looked at? Now, when it comes to GBP USD, the main areas that we were looking at, right? Market opens. I have this big 4-hour imbalance, major quarter level to the upside. Overall, we kind of consolidated at the top of this imbalance and ended up dropping with some of that bullish dollar action. And what we did was drop right into and through this imbalance near this hour candle. And now we're seeing nice bullish rejection off of it. So again, all you guys got to do is point out these certain areas and watch for that evidence of reaccumulation or redistribution. So again, like we had stated, market hung out here at the top of the imbalance. We had very strong dollar to start off the week, pulled us all the way down through that 4-hour imbalance. As you can see, there was some short-term rejection in there, right? We put off 50%, we traded up, we ended up trading up. So we'll see kind of how many pips we initially got off this, 20 to 30 pips off that 50% imbalance. Again, that's from people, taking profits on some of their positions. As you see, we found nice support from the last down to up candle here. And then overall, this is where you saw that beautiful reaccumulation stage. And there was a really nice trade idea here on Tuesday morning. And I'll break this down on a smaller time frame. But, before we dive into that, as you can see, we traded back up effectively into that last up to down candle. And then again, that, the dollar has continued to bullish itself back into this area. So overall, I believe this is just another pool of money, and we could continue to see some deeper prices as we're talking about with the bullish dollar. But this reaccumulation in here, a lot of people were able to take advantage of this. Some people waited for price to, as you guys see, that initial rejection off the 50%. We got about 30 pips. We dropped back down. I know some people positioned themselves here around noon, 1 o'clock. Market kind of hung out, but overall, you see that reaccumulation. We trade back up to the upside. They drop it down twice, and there's just really beautiful fractal, smaller time frame stuff going on in here. And let me go ahead and just show you guys a little bit more of that and how you could have taken advantage, right? So as we trade back into this area, right? What do you see? Equal lows, take the lows, trade above. We leave this down candle. What happens? We make more. Equal lows, one candle trade below. We come into the open of that candle, trade above, and these little retests are exactly where you want to be getting in. These smaller lines that I have on the charts are actually from the 1 minute. Again, just showing you guys the fractal nature of what really goes on in these areas. As you see over here on the 1 minute, right, it's that last purge down, money move up, we come down, retest the top of it really nicely. And then as we go look over here, same exact thing happens, right? Not as clean. Again, not everyone is going to be, picture perfect, but we drop down, right? We have this little low, we come above, not really entering here because it's kind of equaling out. But as you trade above and equal out this area, right? What do? We get that trade back into the wick / open of that last down candle. And then overall, the market had traded up. And this is right in that key time, right? Right at 9 o'clock. So most of these entries and retests that I'm showing you guys are happening in those key times that you want to be looking for the markets, right? 8:30 to 9:15 right here. This is at 3:45 to 4:45 range as well. So, pretty beautiful price action on GU when it comes to just overall what we were looking at this week for, towards the technical side and whatnot. And then again, I believe that bullish dollar could be pulling us down a little bit more. Now, I got a little trigger happy with USD CAD a couple times, but overall, honestly, it's played really nice off of our certain levels. So let me pull up our USD CAD chart. Even though the couple buy positions I was looking at, 2680. Well, again, sometimes it's just not going to be picture perfect. As you see, this was 2880. We traded through it for about 14 to 15 pips. So again, nothing crazy. I just didn't really position myself correctly. I know a lot of other people took advantage of this early London, and then even got in and early New York and was able to take this to the upside. But overall, what you want to focus on here is that the targets were met. As we come back here, what were we looking at? Not only 2750, but that last up to down candle at 2787. And that's exactly where all of these buy positions were able to take most of their profits. As you see, the market trades right through really, really nicely. Again, about 15, 20 pip risk for about 100 pips on USD CAD. And we traded right into the open or in the 50% of that last up candle. And then we hung out for a little bit. So again, this is a lot of profit taking overall. This kind of leaves a little pool of money up here. And then as the days go on, right, market trades down. We got a nice retracement back into a little bit of imbalance that was hanging out there for that another initial drop to take the low. So again, just like very fractal market nature, looking really, really nice. As you can see, this price of 2680 is a big price for this week. That's where the market has been magnified to. So again, with bullish dollar action, could we possibly see, maybe some, bearish action back down into this candle, maybe try to set ourselves up in some buy positions for the rest of this week. Again, maybe you're sitting on the sideline because of all the fundamental news going on, but overall, just some really clean plays here. This play didn't really work out yesterday. If you were trying to look at this at about noontime, maybe re-enter on this candle. Again, the market had already done enough here to where they didn't really need to reject here. They wanted to drop it a little bit further, pretty much down into this 50 level. But again, overall, the areas, whether you're able to execute or not at this point, you want to make sure that you're just seeking these right areas. And if you can just wait for the market to get there, then it's all about practicing your executions. So USD CAD, I believe, was pretty clean as well. As we look through some of the other majors and stuff, again, market open and we traded kind of through whatever stop we had for Euro USD. Again, these aren't really the ones that I focus on, but I know you guys kind of want to see them. We traded nicely up into this imbalance and sold off on USD JPY. AUD, right? USD, when we traded through, we kind of just tapped that stop by a pip or so, but this was really clean on NZD USD. So I don't know if anybody was able to take advantage of this setup, but this was a clean setup, only risking about 15 to 16 pips, and we did go for that 3.5 to 1 back down in the imbalances. So again, just very clean plays off of the exact areas that the institutions like to show us. GBP JPY, pretty much the same thing. We had talked about maybe a purge on this liquidity, which we did get. We got a little retracement back up, and then we effectively traded down, creating a big pool of equal money here before we get to this area. So still haven't really got to my area on GJ, but the areas that we've been talking about been playing really nicely. So we will continue to wait for that. GBP AUD, we saw initial reaction right off of our area as the market traded down into this last down candle. Little rejection, as you see here. They probably would have stopped you out before they traded a little bit above, but GA had some bear. And UCAD went pretty well. I know a lot of people were able to take advantage of those. Hopefully, some people were able to take advantage of NZD USD. Now, when it comes to the stock market and looking at things like S&P and NASDAQ and everything, right now, I think we're in a pretty cool area. What we did earlier, I think yesterday, right on the 4th, what we did was purge above these highs, right? These are all-time highs for the S&P 500. We had a really fast sell-off. So as you see, this sell-off purged through this liquidity, this little bit of liquidity. We obviously made some equal lows here, and now we've traded back up into this imbalance and up candle. So again, right now, there's a lot of volatility going on in the markets. We got FOMC a little bit later today in about 3 hours. So this was something that I was looking at, but honestly, I don't know if I'm really going to take the risk on it. Again, it's still only about a 16-point risk. But overall, this liquidity pool isn't really nothing big to me. If they wanted to continue to bullish out these markets, again, we can't go against the bullishness on these markets, even though we are in a high retracement area. Just something that I'm not really looking for at this point in the week, because we do have divergence on US 30 and NASDAQ. These are running higher prices. They've already traded through any candles that we would have looked off to the left. So just nothing really catching my eye. That was with US 30. With NAS, we still got a couple prices to go. As you see, that last up candle that took liquidity before the down move is still open up here. So I would still wait for NASDAQ to maybe pull itself up here. And if you guys don't know this, right, the crazy thing is the reason we've had all this bullishness, right, with the stock markets is because of big tech. And there's literally only about 15 to 20 stocks that are really booming the S&P right now. It's crazy because I think the number's like over 300 of the 500 stocks in the S&P 500 are actually down right now. They were down in 2020. So why is the S&P very bullish? Well, it's because of those 15 to 20 tech stocks. So, that's why NASDAQ has a big influence on what's going on with the S&P right now. So if NAS still needs to run higher up into here, I would expect for the S&P to run higher as well. So, but, overall, I think, and everybody, as we go check out, even the video that was posted up on Sunday, I believe everybody is still enjoying the analysis, whether you're able to take advantage of it or not. I got a 78 to 0 ratio on the likes to dislikes here. And as I go through some of your guys' comments, right, talk about entering GU on that imbalance, explaining Wyckoff, GU talking about a couple of different things. So just really clean, really good week. Like I said, for me, kind of been staying out the markets. I was a little jumpy on some of the other things with UCAD, but other than that, hope you guys have, stop. Hope you guys have been able to take advantage of some of these setups. I appreciate you guys for all the support. Let's continue to have a great week. And I look forward to bringing another video to you guys on Friday or Saturday. So stay tuned, live bullish. Make sure to smash that like button in this video, just like you did in the last video. Really appreciate you guys. And subscribe to Morning Brew if you want a little bit of financial, rundown in the mornings. They send these emails out 6 days a week. It's always in the description. So let's get it. Much love. Let's have a great week.